Hey kids, this is hexrayvision coming to you live from Cuatro Cinco Studios in my mom's basement. And I've got my buddy Rags to Riches here, Brandon Davis and Adam from Vibra Finance to kick it off. We have some other guests that should be making their way into the show. We'll see if they show up, but obviously big brains, big power here going on. How's your week been? Or last couple weeks, because I think I took 2 Sundays off. So how's the last month been for you guys in crypto?
What do you think, Adam?
Well, it's been awesome. I can't complain. I mean, when you think things get boring or, it couldn't get any crazier, life just smacks you in the face.
I feel the same way. These past like 30, 60 days, man, dude, it filled my cup back up. You know what I mean? I mean, this bear market's been brutal, but it's good. It's good to have people back. It's good to have people in good spirits. And then just there's so much stuff going on, dude. It's insane.
Yeah. The 2 things that have kept me going the last month are liquid loans. I've got a pile of money in the stability pool. It's still making 100% APR.
Yeah.
Like that's still pretty damn good. And then I had some miners come out from Titan X, and I was able to recoup some of the money from buying at the top. So I've got about 7 grand back of my total 32 grand I put into Titan. The payouts, the ETH payouts are like $5. It's like, go F your mother.
Yeah.
You're on Ethereum. You're going to pay me $2.50 of Ethereum on Ethereum.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that goes. And when the miners start kicking on it, how that whole craziness goes.
Yeah.
And then other than that, we've just been working on a project that you guys know a little bit about the project. But we've been kicked back 16 to 20 weeks. And so we're hoping that's serendipitous that timing works out, because that is right around the Bitcoin halving.
Yeah.
So
a good time to put something in the market, I think.
Yeah, hopefully some things are pumping and we can get a good launch out of that.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing lately as far as how crypto's been treating me. Went to a couple of cool concerts in LA. Got some traveling planned for this next month. I'm excited about that. Get out of the snow. It's been snowing feet here every week, just feet of snow, and not a fan. Not a fan at all.
Weren't you in Burning Man like 3 months ago, 2 months ago?
Well, that's one of the trips we have planned is February 15th through the 18th is Love Burn in Miami.
Yeah.
And that's Miami's Burning Man, their little regional Burning Man.
Yep.
And it's out at a state park on its own island.
Oh, cool.
So you literally, you can land at the airport and in 20 minutes be on this island with all sorts of shenanigans, craziness, fire shooting in the sky, lasers, a lot of boots and cats.
Great weather.
So that's what I keep looking forward to, is that trip to Florida. You guys should come. It's going to be a lot of fun.
What you told me 5 times. When is it?
It's during right after Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So the 15th through the 18th is that long weekend.
Nice.
So if you guys get down there, I'll get you in.
If I start hitchhiking now, I can make it there by February 18th.
That sounds good. We got a lot of excuse me, good homies in chat. We got Red Squirrel, who I think has a bot or a script that just pops that in everyone's stream before anyone else has a chance.
He put pops. That's different.
Well, he calls me Pops because I say kids.
Okay.
Like, hey kids. So
kids.
I'm Pops. Godfather J6 is in the house, and he says there's a rumor that Red Squirrels is dropping an NFT today.
Yeah.
So watch out for that. And then of course I gave Godfather some props on his stream. I really like his stream. Very authentic, very well thought out. And he's killing it. So keep that up. Crypto Compassion, who's going to be on the show next week,
cool,
is in the house. We got Facing Reality. Let's go. What up, Blue Army? We got Baggio. Hello, Hexio. I haven't recognized them. I might have to give them a wrench. And then let's see here. Gabriel. That's a new person I haven't seen before. NT Fryer. He's an old OG. Caparonga
Huh.
is hanging out. That's a new face.
That is
And
new face.
PhD 805. So there's a doctor in the 805 area code, I'm guessing.
Or he's the 805th PhD.
Yeah, he has 805 PhDs.
Which means, or 805 PhDs, yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to skin a cat there, buddy.
Yeah, have you ever been behind a car with a really strange license plate?
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't think they meant to say what they're saying because it almost looks like Shark Ma Pants. And you're like, okay, maybe their name's Sharon and Patty, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that. We got Hex Force 1 in the house. Of course, David Lee, the OG. Quinn, where's that RV parked at, Hexray? I'm going to sneak on. Well, funny story, Quinn. We don't want to drive our RV from our house to Florida because we did that in North Carolina, and holy shit, it was a long drive.
Oh, Lord.
It was a long.
Coming from a truck driver.
Yeah, we're renting an RV in Miami to stay in the weekend.
Smart.
So if you can find the RV, like I said, we'll get you in. Duke of Booze is in the house. Casey, 2 months until I play Rich Hobo. Yeah, Casey's making his exit from the
Florida.
Matrix. Initials.
We were all wrong.
Yep.
So Phyllis Harold Donovan, 805 is who we're dealing with here. A lot of love to each other here. Too lazy to change.
I'm too lazy to spell.
Casey. Too lazy just to change. See, that's one of those license plates where I'm like, what are they trying to say? Cage's in the house.
What's up, Kesa?
Quinn says she'll drive to it. Yeah.
She'll drive it.
Last time we went to Loveburn, you know those weird like boots that shoot water? So people like hover above the water. Yeah, there was someone spinning fire on top of one of those, and then after he was done, there was this giant firework display.
Dude, I feel like if you go sideways on one of the things, you can get wrecked. I feel like it's not good. And I mean, by the way, Quinn sees an RV and she immediately thinks meth lab. That's why she's so attracted.
I know.
Don't let her on.
She's like, there's money to be made here.
Correct. So don't let her on, dude.
She's like, do you need a marketer? I can put some marketing together for you guys.
She's got her like Breaking Bad t-shirt and her license plate.
When we were at NFT NYC last year, these guys were giving out blue crystals. It's like they're with stickers and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this has got to be candy. Not candy. Just so do not eat. It's these blue crystals. And I'm like, you're expecting everyone to put this in their baggage and fly home? Like, what do you? It was one of the most bizarre merch ideas I've ever seen. Yeah, here's some crystals. Here's some blue crystals to travel with.
That's a problem.
It was a problem. Yeah, and I couldn't believe how much some of the people were paying for booths and our time. The smartest people were at the convention handing out flyers to after parties. So a lot of the smart projects just had their own party, their own thing, and then they just went there and shilled it at the conference.
Nice.
So that was really cool. Let's see here. PhD, poor, hungry, and determined.
Yeah, that's about right.
Oh my gosh. So speaking of which, this bear market humbled everyone I've talked to. I haven't talked to one person who's like, yep, I took 50 million out, at the top, and I'm just eating cheese and crackers on my yacht. There's a couple people that, timed it right and were like, this is ridiculous, and they took profit.
Yeah.
But for most of us, we're like, it can't go any lower. And then it did. And it can't go any lower. And it did. And then a year later, we're like, I think we're all going to starve to death. It's like being on a boat and like drawing straws. Be like, are we going to eat Fred? Like, who do we eat? Because you look at, I think of all of my coins as like my best friends. And when I have to sell to pay some bills or take some profits, I feel bad.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm eating my friend in a boat out at sea, And so that being said, I have an idea in mind of how much money I want to take out during the next bull run so that I don't have to go through that again. Is that kind of where you guys are at too? Or has that changed your strategy of DCAing out with profit?
Yeah, So what's interesting about these bear markets is you don't get to experience bear markets often. So it's like you got to wait 4 years to learn a lesson, right? Which sucks. So, but it only takes, hopefully, most people it only takes once. Some people it takes more than that, and some people never learn. But in terms of DCAing now, man, in and out, yeah. I mean, you look at 50% of your portfolio that you'd like to take profit on, and you just start taking it out. I think after the Bitcoin halving, every little pump, like once a month, take some out. So by the time 12 to 18 months hit, you're going to be sitting pretty. You'll have money to buy back in if you need to. Buy your yacht if you want to go buy a yacht. But then you'll also have your bags still in there. I'm a firm believer that there's just some crypto that you should never sell. You just pack that away for a decade or more. So that's kind of what I've learned over the years here.
I like that perspective because a lot of us believe that this is the closest thing we're going to have to a super cycle based on the money that institutions have put into software and exchanges. Yeah. I mean, what did they put in, like 20 billion this last bear market?
Yeah,
and they're trying to
total
wrangle the market and get their fees. So that kind of looks good. But as far as the 28, 29, 30 wave, you have no idea what that's going to look like, or if it's going to be a wave and a spike, right?
Yeah.
Like it might be, who knows? Who knows what that one's going to look like? So I'm kind of taking this bull market as my last, like to last me for my lifetime.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens after that, it's all fun. It's all fun and games. I don't know. What do you think, Adam?
Definitely learned a lot of lessons, but I think my biggest problem was just staking hex for too long. You know, I went too big for too long, and that, yeah, it sucks temporarily, but long term, you know, that temporary pain is going to be long term. I think you're going to start to look smarter and smarter and smarter each year that goes by. So I'm kind of with Rags with some coins I'm never going to sell. And, you know, once things start getting crazy, you know, all right, this just doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel sustainable. Maybe it's time to scale out. And I think you have to experience a full 4 years in crypto, paying attention to learn how the market works. And until you experience that, a full bull market, a full bear market, it's hard. And, you know, it's just learning those lessons, unfortunately, and surrounding yourself with people that are smarter than you and you can learn from. And that can't hurt.
Completely agree. So, and the only thing we can do is try to talk to new folks too, to give them a plan to not make the same mistakes. So
definitely. Crypto Sloth, what's up, buddy?
What is up, everybody? How's it going?
It's great to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Sorry I'm a little bit late, but I made it.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Did you bring donuts?
Yeah, bring donuts? I thought you were bringing the donuts.
Listen, dude, no. Whenever you're late, bring donuts. People forget you're late.
Tell you what. Here's what I'll do. I'll come over to your house right now, and I'll give you some donuts. Okay?
Hey, you're not that far away, dude.
I know, right? It's not that big. I can just get there this afternoon. You know.
That's right. You could, man. We could.
It was good to see you guys. Viber Finance. I hope you're doing well, buddy.
We were just discussing. I don't know if you heard it in the green room. We're discussing our plans to take enough profit this next bull run compared to what a lot of us didn't take nearly enough profits in 2021. Mm-hmm. So has that affected your strategy of money management and taking out more when you see things getting crazy and frothy?
Yeah, that was actually I had a call with my Telegram group earlier this afternoon, and we were talking about that. And it's like these two different concepts that are kind of contentious with each other, but like kind of equally true, where it's like, in order to get 10,000x in a token, just to use a number we all know, you have to give up a 10x, but you should also be so heavily invested enough where a 10x is like substantially upgrading your life, or like making enough changes to your life where you feel comfortable taking those profits, right? So it's like you need to be exposed enough so that you can take your profits at the 10x, but then also still have some left over so that you're able to realize those higher gains that may come later in the bull market. Because if you fully exit and then things go up higher, that could...
Correct.
And he's right.
And it's gone.
And he's gone.
He'll be back.
If
He'll
he
be
had
back.
his mouth closed, he'd look like the sloth behind him.
I want PhD 805. Reach inside your pocket. You'll find a nice new shiny wrench down there. Same with Caparanga and who was the other one? Baggio.
Caparanga's my poker buddy.
He is?
Nice.
There's a poker site. It's called rnr.poker, and one of the XRPL coins you can connect your wallet and play on there, and they have a bunch of free tournaments and stuff. So I've been on there degenning.
So Quinn, speaking of eating your friends, she says, "Do not eat, snort." Yeah, it's closer to snorting your gains and your coins than it is to eating. Got Rainmaker for real, Barry in the house. Good
What's
to
up,
see you,
Barry?
man.
Good to see you.
Facing reality, Hex Force 1. I would say thank you for helping me pay my bills, friend. All right. Jay Pond is in the house. Says, hey, Hexray, Adam Brandon, all together is really cool. Met them in real life many times. Yeah. I just added the Pulse Chain dates to my calendar, which is March 6th through the 9th in Vegas. So that'll be fun to go back into that degenerate city and hang out with degenerates.
I love it. Oh, especially with Hexkins.
Yeah. Hex Force 1 says I'll use my lottery tickets, tokens to cash out. Yeah, I've been listening to Sami a lot. And when he calls things a lottery ticket, that's the perfect description for some of these like degen plays or, just fun stabs where it's like, you think about it like if you put $5-10 into lottery tickets and you don't win, it doesn't ruin your life, right? Yeah. But for some reason, people put money into these meme coins and other things, and if it doesn't launch, they're wrecked, emotionally. Yeah. I like fun and games. X-Ray, thanks, Crypto Compassion. He says, yes, it was my biggest mistake leaving crypto after 2017. Hex Force 1, this is my 4th year. Yeah. I remember 2017, I had like a Bitcoin and a half, right? And it went up to 20 grand. I had 30 grand. 30 grand was an insane amount of money to me in that time. Like that was life-changing money. The problem was the only thing I had to sell into was Tether.
Yeah.
And I still don't trust Tether.
Yeah.
We never will trust Tether. We didn't have like a Circle and a bunch of those things were being like tested. But so I wrote it all the way back down to like 3 grand. And I was like, well, that sucks. So that was like every cycle, it's like baptism, right? Or therapy or trauma. You're going to learn some way.
Well, when the chart starts going like that, you might want to start considering things.
Yeah, and Hex, I really like what Sloth said. If you're able to sell 10% of your bag, it should be big enough to be worth taking that out and working with it. So you should be believing in the project very, very wholeheartedly to have that kind of investment in it to make it worth it. Slothy getting some love. Let's see here. Crypto Sloth, thank you for the LP playlist. Nice sized bites for us plebs. I think you meant bite-sized. But if you guys want to know anything about liquidity providing, check out Crypto Sloth's tutorials on those. Those are really good. Yeah, he got rugged, I guess. Crypto Ewok says, I think people are taking more than they need rather than just peeling yield. It devastates the system and only a few win. Yeah, I think that's true. You're killing the golden goose, right? Instead of just shaving a little bit of gold off the eggs, right? I think this is in response to getting a wrench.
Hey.
Clintron says, good day, Tech Talk crew. All right. Quinn says, I was talking about the blue crystals. Yeah. Quinn needs some PBRs too. So if you stock the fridge with PBRs, she says she'll drive if we pay for the gas, but the gas is literally like 3 times more than a plane ticket to drive from where I'm at to Florida. So
didn't always used to be that way.
Yeah, it didn't. But but here we are.
Here
So I was hoping that KG would join us by now, so he and you could talk about the Internet Money Wallet, some of the things going on and the developments there.
Yeah.
Do you want to speak to any of that while you're waiting for him, or should we hold off to cover another topic?
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So with the Internet Money Wallet, every transaction that occurs, there's I think it's 0.729% fee that's collected in Pulse. And the way that they have that is for all the people who hold time, they can actually receive 100% of those fees, which is pretty neat. So KG and his team, all credit goes to them. They said, "Hey, what if we could create a buy and burn contract for a certain project, and people who stake or deposit's the correct word in their ecosystem, deposit their time token in this buy and burn contract. It will actually buy and burn. It'll take that energy and buy and burn the contract that they put in there. So in this case, Texan. So we were able to create a buy and burn contract for Texan. So a portion of every single transaction that happens in the Internet Money Wallet goes to buy and burn Texan now, and that is live. So we announced it. It went live first, and then we announced it. So it's running. It's pretty cool, man. Now, what's even neater? Let me go here real quick. So internetmoney.io/stats, and actually, what I could do is I'll share my screen here to make it easier.
Oh, I accidentally kicked out Adam when I tried to close one of the screens we were sharing.
So, damn it, man.
He'll be back.
Cool. So Pulse Chain since 11/11/2023, there's been $4,392,946.25 of total swap volume. That was surprising. So I can only imagine what this is going to look like, in the next 4 or 5 years, or at the top of the next bull run. So I think that there's a massive opportunity. If anybody holds time token, you can actually go to internetmoney.io, go to DApp or DApp, drop down Texan, you can deposit your time token, and it'll buy and burn more and more Texan with every single swap. Pretty cool.
So you make that decision when you deposit the time token, correct?
Yeah, when you make that decision, you deposit the time token. There's no minimum link to deposit. You can pull it out at any time, and you don't lose any of your time token. You're just basically voting with your time token that you like Texan, and you're supporting the Texan ecosystem. So the more time that's in there, the bigger percentage of those total Pulse fees will be used to buy and burn Texan, which is so cool.
That's awesome. Sorry, I gotta apologize to Adam. I didn't mean to kick you there. I was trying to get rid of that other screen we were sharing in the green room. I was like,
I was wondering if I was like, man, I don't know what happened.
man, forget Adam. I don't like him anyway. This is cool.
I was we're looking at a project called Bank Social, and they're a decentralized credit union that's building. And I was looking at it yesterday because I had to bridge my coins over from Binance onto their wallet. So you had to download their wallet to do it. And I was looking through the Wallet Connect, and sure enough, Internet Money Wallet was one of the options that you could use inside that wallet to use their app with.
Wow.
So I was like, oh my God, because this credit, what they're doing is they're building this decentralized credit union where they're going to have all kinds of different tokenized real estate, different investment opportunities, and you can bridge and bring your money in from Metamask or other wallets where you're holding your crypto. So the fact that Internet Money Wallet is there, this is like, it's just the start to the interoperability and money starting to flow across chains and across wallets.
Dude, I think this is the most excited that I've seen you before 9 p.m. ever. I think your brain turns on afterwards, dude, because you're flying at 11 o'clock at night. I'm in bed, and you're just going hard, dude. So you seem pretty excited about that. That's cool, man. That's really cool. It's what we need.
Yeah, dude. Exactly. And it like just seeing reading about this stuff for years of what's to come, and to see it actually here and being launched and live and all these things that actually beta mode, it's exciting.
Sweet.
Awesome. X Periscope says Titan wrecked. Why would anyone touch vampire attack coin? Dum-dums. Well, that's a good question. I don't know. That this remains to be seen, right? Because I heard about Titan X and some of the tokenomics about it. I jumped in at day two, bought the total high from everybody, dumped a bunch of money in. And then later I found out, okay, well, this is like kind of like a tweak on Zen, right? Like it's almost like Jake looked at Zen and said, okay, how do I keep this from being too inflated? How can I game this and bring in more money? Now, the intelligent part about Jake is he's bringing economic energy in from the Ethereum coin and holding more of it than he's letting out. Mm-hmm. So he's filling the air with balloon, we'll say. The balloon with air, we'll say, right? You got to get more air going into the balloon than is leaving.
Yep.
And so that's kind of cool. But at the same time, if you improve a project, there's 100 other ideas behind that can just improve your project and improve that project, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm banking on it long term. At this point, I'm trying to get my original investment out and play with house money, so I'm not emotionally invested. But that's where I'm at with Titan X. Have your thoughts and feelings changed over the last month?
I'm trying to move away from calling a project dumb or even smart. It just is what it is. It's going to perform how it's encoded, and that's only a portion of the equation. The other equation is the market dynamics that make things go up and down too. So are people going to buy it? Here's what I would say. The difference between it and Zen is the fact that there's $25 to $30 million sitting in a wallet waiting to be deployed. And it looks like we've gone through the highest amount of inflation that we're going to go through for the next 6 months or so. And inflation is only going down. There are a tremendous amount of third-party projects that are being built on top of this. And shout out to Pulsar as well. That's going to be coming over to Pulse Chain. So I think it's a net positive when we have people building on Pulse Chain as well. So Titan X is going to benefit Pulse Chain in that way. Something is going to happen, and I don't think the price is going to go down when that $30 million is deployed, especially if ETH starts to go up, where that 25 or 30 million turns into 40, 45, 50, 60, 70, 80 million dollars. It's not a small amount of money. So
yeah, actually, I think I remember talking to you early, and you said you had bought and staked some, and I right away was like, wait, you didn't do any max miners? Because I was telling everybody the opposite. It's all about the max miners at first. Get in now and start minting these max miners while they're cheap, and then we'll see how the staking game plays out. So I think if you had played it differently from the beginning, you'd be looking at it a little differently.
Did you create max miners, Hexray?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so
that's where I've been getting most of my money back.
Yeah,
on the miners.
Yeah, and for the people that got gobbled up by Dragon X in terms of their max length stakes, if I'm not mistaken, there's going to be a project that comes out that allows you to unlock that economic energy off those stakes. So that'll be good too. And I think that's coming from Jake, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because even though my stake is for 10 years, I don't plan on waiting 10 years. I'll probably sacrifice it for Hyper if that chance comes up.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Crypto Capash says cross-chain baby, definitely. Jess asks, what's the best strategy for DCA out? We were kind of covering that earlier. It's better to have a predetermined price and a predetermined amount of money, or a predetermined amount of tokens that you want to part with before the insanity ensues. Because once that thing goes up, you're going to want to start buying more when you should be selling chunks of it, right? Like it's that whole reverse psychology thing where you're fighting your gut. Or like, I think it was Crypto Coffee that said he changed the color of his candles for like a year. So he got excited when the price went down. It was easier to buy with green candles going down.
Yeah.
And then when it went up for red, he would sell on red. So he just flipped it mentally for him. And I thought that's a great strategy. Right there.
Yep. I agree.
Facing Reality says liquidity providing. I've been in crypto for a while, and this is the first. Just recently, this year is the first year I've used liquidity providing as a way of taking profits, and it's weird because you have to wait for the market to go into the range you want it to, but it's worked out really well, and it's protected the price of some of my tokens by doing that instead of dumping them on the market. So that's cool.
You gotta learn when you're in a bear market. Learn all this stuff.
Yeah.
Play around.
Crypto Compassion says Pulsar wank. ID says, what happens when ETH spot ETFs get approved next month?
Going down, down, down.
Sell the.
We got to get a pump before there, though, right? We
know.
got to hit 3K before the ETH ETF gets approved. So we got to have all season.
You think they've been snatching? I mean, so the thing that was weird was what 4 months ago, JP Morgan says Ethereum's going to outperform Bitcoin in 2024.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, guys, they've been buying. They're going to, yeah, they're going to pump it. So I think they've already accumulated all the Ethereum they need to make their little play here. But yeah, it's going to be the same as Bitcoin, I think.
Well, I think if you look at all the paper trading on precious metals, obviously banks and governments have used that to their advantage to accumulate as much physical precious metals as they can.
Yeah.
And then they've sold the paper to everyone else, right? Yeah. The regular dude, they're like, oh yeah, here's a paper certificate that's worth an ounce of silver, whatever.
Yeah.
And they did that to manipulate the price of silver so harsh that it was so blatant and obvious and detrimental that they faced criminal charges and paid fines.
Right.
For getting caught with their hand in the cookie jar, both with that and with money laundering for the cartels. But that's another story. But anyways, they do this, and that's how they accumulate. So why wouldn't banks manipulate the price of Ethereum and Bitcoin to get as much in their actual possession and custody as they can of this digital commodity and do the same thing? Why wouldn't they, manipulate the price down, suck it off the market, and then let it bounce back up?
Well, it's the purpose. That's what banks do. I mean, the lifeblood of a banking institution is profit. How do they maximize that? They do whatever they can to maximize that within the legal or semi-legal bounds of the law, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Guys, do you think the ETF really, the Bitcoin was really a sell the news event? You think it was more Grayscale liquidating their 600,000 Bitcoin? Because I think they've sold like 150,000, and that's just been the down pressure on the market. But there's been steady accumulation. So if Grayscale wasn't liquidating, I don't think this ETF would have been a sell the news event. I think in another week or so, once they're fully done selling, there's so much buying coming in, this thing's gonna just start running. Like everyone's fooled.
What are the inflows and outflows looking like right now?
It's massively the inflows are I want to say at like plus 5 or 6 billion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't as big of a sell-off, I guess, as we had expected. You're right. So I'm saying from about 2 weeks ago, Bitcoin's down 12%, which in traditional terms is like 15 to 20% on TradFi. But we can also, I mean, it's not as bad as we thought. So
because you got to think, right? You're a registered investment advisor, and you're working with all these clients. You've been pitching them on Bitcoin for 2 years now, and you got guys like this all around the world talking to the richest clients they have. So they get them into Bitcoin, and then it just crashes on them. I just don't see that happening. And getting these people wrecked right away. You just don't do that to those. It just doesn't happen to the top 1%, unfortunately.
And the whole purpose of them cornering the market was so they could build products on top of it. And you can't build a product on top of it that's getting wrecked all the time, right? So they want to make steady money. So yeah, they don't want the market to be extremely, extremely volatile. Let's see what happens here. Yeah. Now the Grayscale, the premium and the discount, that's done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's all converted to real Bitcoin at this point.
Yep. I
So
think they have
that's
like
interesting.
450,000 more to go. And once
Yeah.
that's gone, that's all the sell pressure on the market right now.
Yeah. Other than the Silk Road folks, there was news about that this week. So they're getting Bitcoin back.
You mean Mount Cox?
Silk Road.
Yeah, this is the government selling. Yeah.
Oh, the government's selling what they seize, not the Mount Cox.
I don't know. I've not heard about that. That's supposed to. Yeah, that's green lighted for this year as well. But Silk Road is government's letting folks know they'll start selling.
I was about to ask Sloth his opinion on this, and he disappeared. So, rugged again. I think if anyone adds me to a stream, I should just freeze with my mouth open and see if anyone notices.
Bro, we should totally prank a whole chat one day. All three of us freeze and just say nothing.
Yeah, just at a predetermined time, we just freeze, and then we just read the comments.
I mean, yeah, we could be all right, on the snap. We all freeze. It's just screw with people.
I love it. I love it. Well, when he comes back, we'll get his thoughts on that. And ID, reach inside your pocket. You've got a nice shiny wrench there. You're part of the wrench army. Mobius is in the house. What's up, buddy? It's good seeing you in North Carolina.
Mobius is crushing it.
Yeah, and Texas. Ramon's in the house.
Carrillo.
Raymond.
What's up, man?
Raymond? Is it Raymond or Ramon?
Ramon Carrillo with no silent L's here. It's Carrillo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's already got a wrench, so he's been here for a while. Yo, yo, yo. ID says GBTC has so much Bitcoin too.
Yep. It does.
And then he says they liquidated short and longs with the fake tweet. That was a pretty good day when the SEC got hacked. Or their Twitter got hacked.
Oh, that was so beautiful. I was laughing so hard, man.
Yeah. Speaking of Texas and friendly faces, Pumpin and FTX.
Yep, Celsius FTX.
Sorry, guys, my computer's just bugging out. All right.
I was doing some research on all this negative sell pressure here. Let me see what I wrote down here. I'll share it too. Let me see what we got. Share screen.
Yeah, but I think this Bitcoin, it's not what people think it is. It's just grayscale really is just liquidating as soon as this happens. The overall it's net inflows right now, excluding them. So
yeah, so 142,000 Bitcoin set to be released in late 2024. This is a major negative news event. Will people want to go long into that news, knowing the corrupt Bitcoin-based media? They won't put it on anyone's radar. FTX owns $560 million of Bitcoin, along with $1.2 billion worth of Solana and $200 million worth of Ethereum. $2 billion of BTC is slated to be returned to investors and hundreds of millions of USD worth of ETH. 41,000 Bitcoin associated with Silk Road distributed in tranches during 2024. On top of that, decrease in federal funds rate. I think that the only thing, guys, based on what I was looking at, the only thing that saves us is this is an election year. Quite frankly, if this was an election year and they didn't want the economy to look really good for Biden, I think we would be.
Their shoe would fall.
Yeah, it would be not good. And the way that they do this is they negotiate oil deals with the Saudis in order to keep fuel inflation low. So, the Saudis, they'll put less oil or more oil in the market to keep prices low until the election. They'll strike these little short-term deals because fuel inflation is really what causes the economy to get screwed up if it gets out of control. And we've seen that many times, specifically when those hurricanes hit the Gulf. And you see fuel inflation and then transportation costs and everything just shoot sky high for 3 or 4 months until it stabilizes, supply gets back on the market. So, yeah, I think that's the only thing that's keeping 2024 afloat now. What did we see today? We saw 25 get injured and 3 U.S. servicemen get murked by Iranian-backed, whoever. That happened early this morning with a drone strike. So the only other thing that could be weird is we get pulled into some type of broader regional war, and then things could get weird, but we'll see.
War is usually like the panic button that the governments hit when the economy's falling too fast.
Well, war is bad, but then war in the Middle East is a lot worse because that's where all the fuel comes from. So a lot of it, 40% of the world's oil supplies pass through the Straits of Hormuz, which is, on the other side of the Strait of Hormuz is Iran. They want to shut that down to create chaos. The only thing the U.S. Navy ever does is battle exercises to try to keep that strait open, because if shit hits the fan, they'll try to close it. So war in the Middle East is, I think it's a little bit different. A little bit different there.
Yeah. Interesting. We've got CZ in the chat. What's up, CZ? It's great to see you.
CZ.
ID says we're close to the pump. Daniel Polk is in the house. Bang, bang. With that one eye. And then what do you guys think about communist claim? Is it a good idea? I haven't ended any stakes since communist has been a thing.
I had trillions of communists on Ethereum, and I claimed it's free to claim. I'm going to claim it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, you definitely want to claim it before you end your stake, right? Just like your Hedron.
Yeah.
Like if you don't claim and scrape or whatever, you're going to lose it.
Yep.
So that's one thing to add to your reminders list when you put that on your calendar of the days your stakes end. So let's check that out. Get that spacesuit ready when GPTC weekends get out. We rip.
I think that it does not matter for the Pulse Chain ecosystem what's happening in the economy. I am solely convinced that Richard Hart has more freaking Bitcoin than 99.9% of the planet. And I think he really is in it for the glory, and he wants Pulse Chain to stay. He's going to make Pulse Chain stay. So that idea has been developing for a while, and I'm feeling pretty strong about it right now.
Yeah, bro, dude, that was an interesting time for that clip to come out. Were you there mining 300,000 free Bitcoin?
So Hexray, did you see that video that came out yesterday?
No, which one?
Richard re-releases one of his gladiator moments with some influencer back in the day. I've seen it.
Oh, was it the dude with glasses on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just thought he was so smart.
I saw it there, but I'll go back and watch that.
So Richard talks about the fact that were you around? Yeah, mining $300,000 or 300,000 Bitcoin back in the day. If that dude has like 50% of that, I mean that's what, $12 billion, 300,000 Bitcoin. It's about 12 billion. A smooth 12 bill, almost 13 at today's prices.
Well, I used to wonder how Richard Hart was so good at calling the tops and the bottoms of Bitcoin. and then we watched when Vitalik called the top and dumped some unreal amount of Ethereum. It's like, oh, it's easy to call the top when you're creating the top, and it's easy to call the bottom when you create the bottom, right? And that's when like the light switch went on. Now, to get all political, David Lee says these days are over for those supporting green policies. Saudis aren't in our camp anymore.
Yeah, they're going to flood the market, man.
Oh, Brett, this is a good question. Can you guys tell me the fiat on-ramps are available for Pulse Chain now? I'll put a link to my referral for OX Coast in the notes, because I was on there the other day and messaging those guys, and they're like, you should really share your referral link. I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I should. I really like OX Coast. It's worked very, very well with my bank. I've never had any problems moving stuff over. It's just the hardest thing about OX Coast was bridging the stuff from Ethereum to Pulse Chain to get it into the Coast token to burn, or vice versa. Minting's been really, really easy too, where you mint right out of your checking account.
That's so cool.
You just move $1,000 over, and you mint, and you have $1,000 that are backed up because you just backed them up by creating them. Yeah. And also, if you guys use OX Coast, lock up 100 grand of those weight tokens, and that drops your fees from 4% to 1%. Yeah. And when I bought them, I bought them, I think a little bit higher than they are now. It was like $100. or
Nice.
$90 or something. So I bought those, locked them, and it saved me a ton of money in fees.
I think I've got
What about you guys?
weight tokens from that mint back in the day, or you had to right before Pulse Chain launched. I think I still have that.
Yeah. What about you guys? Are you guys using anything besides OX Coast for your on ramps and off ramps into crypto or Pulse Chain specifically?
I use the standard stuff pretty much. I have no problem using the bridge. I for some reason I don't like KYCing more than I have to. So that's kind of where my head's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been using Rocket X a lot. That thing has been a lifesaver. If you don't know about it, rocketx.exchange, you can bridge from ETH and all around. It's like $1.
Nice.
So it's great moving across different chains. You could even move you can bridge altcoins from Binance over to Polygon or ETH, wherever. It's really cheap.
Awesome. Rocket X. So you got Rocket X, you got the bridge, you got OX Coast. Moondog's in the house, and Richie's re-upload vid yesterday. At one point in time, he says, I have 300K BTC that minted from the contract before the dude cut him off. He's probably talking about hex free claim phase. But then again, that's an interesting theory. KG,
So
how are you doing, man?
Brothers, first of all,
Yes.
apologize for that. And hey, the other guy that I blew off this week is also here. So I apologize. It's been one of those weeks when it rains, it pours. Hexray, I apologize, brother.
Did you bring donuts? That's the only thing we care about. Did you bring donuts?
I don't have a single donut.
when you're late,
to
bring
give you.
donuts. And people forget. Yeah.
Hey,
okay.
next time I'm late. Oh, next time I see you guys, donuts on me, I promise.
Oh,
Love
it's
it.
great.
Sorry,
Great to see you. We had a really good time in Austin with you and your lovely Anastasia. That was great. Met a lot of interesting people that night in Austin. So it's good to see you again. Well, Rags was going over the buy and burn for Texan earlier, but I know there's a bunch of developments both in Internet Money Wallet right now and stuff that you're working on. So take us through as much of that as you can at this time.
Sure. Okay. So, first of all, again, thanks for your patience. Thanks for having me on today. I spoke with Walrus a little bit before the stream, who was also supposed to be here. He had a, I don't know if you announced that to everybody already, but something popped off in his life as well. So just we happen to be two separate things going on, but in sync in that respect. So, but yeah, the Internet Money Wallet, man, things are really awesome right now. We just surpassed 32,000 downloads across Android, iOS, and Chrome. As you know, Brandon was telling you about the Texan buy and burn, which we just launched, and we launched a few buy and burns for other tokens as well. And so that's been really awesome to get these different communities and having synergy with the Internet Money Wallet. Last time I was on your stream, I wasn't able to say this, but we are twice security audited and fully open source now on all three platforms. So that's a new development there. And we are the best place to swap on Pulse Chain. That's another new development as well. So I am willing to make and defend that statement.
Awesome. I can't wait until Sami starts talking about you. I saw your tweet directed at Sami when he was talking about security and wallets and some of the fuckery that's been going on with Metamask and other Uniswap. And so, yeah, if anyone wants to find that and retweet it, let's try to get Sami's attention to get that on his radar.
See, shout out to Sami. He does a lot of good work, and I have a lot of appreciation for him. He 100% knows about the Internet Money Wallet, and Don Montoya actually shouted him out yesterday. Don Montoya is co-founder. He was like, I don't understand why guys like Sami and a few others aren't talking about it. And Sami was like, oh, people want to hear about Jizz token and Orange token. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but talk about Jizz token and Orange token and have people swap in the Internet Money Wallet. It's not that big of a deal. Have people get off of MetaMask and other wallets that don't care about the Pulse Chain community. They support them insofar as, hey, you can use it, but we're the only wallet in existence, Internet Money, on Android, iOS, and Chrome that is a MetaMask alternative and has Pulse Chain as the central focus. No other wallet in existence can say that. So, no, we are not a Pulse Chain only wallet, but we do all the amazing things you love to do in DeFi, and we're optimized for Pulse Chain, which is so important. Like people having stuck transactions on MetaMask or Rabby or Trust Wallet or something, they happen far less on the Internet Money wallet. And when they do, we have a simple, easy fix. So like even basic transacting is just better. You don't have to do custom nonces and all this weird. It's just like, no, that doesn't happen. So it's not just Pulse Chain benefits. There are just general crypto user experience benefits too.
That's beautiful, and I love the way that it works in concert with the other tokens that you're supporting with the buy and burn. And then the native token for Internet Money is time, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what can you do with time? In case anyone's new here and they haven't heard how that works, the tokenomics, tell us about time.
Sure. So, talking about the in-app swap of the Internet Money wallet, there is a fee that is charged. Now, if you're doing that on MetaMask or Trust Wallet or any other wallet, there is a fee. There's a couple major differences with the way the fee is handled in our system. In other systems, when you pay the fee, you usually pay it in the form of the token you're swapping out of. So let's say you're swapping Hex to USDC. On MetaMask, well, they censored you, but that's a different story. If you were able to, do that, if they let you, you would pay the fee in the form of Hex. Okay. In our system, you pay the fee in the form of the native coin. So let's say you're swapping on Pulse Chain, you're going to pay the fee in Pulse. On Ethereum, you'll pay the fee in ETH. The second difference, and the most important one, is that 100% of our fee is distributed to the holders of the time token. On the other wallets, they retain 100% of their fee. There's zero revenue sharing, whereas we have 100% revenue sharing. So if you're holding time, you're actually earning passive income in Pulse, ETH, BNB, or Matic, depending on which chain you hold it on. And as the wallet revenue ramps up on those chains, you earn more passive income. So it's not a tax token. It's not a reflection token. It's a share in the revenue pool. And so let's say you hold 1% of the time supply, you're earning 1% of the wallet revenue on that chain. And there's no staking, there's no locking up. You're just holding it. So your position remains liquid all the time.
Awesome. That's quite versatile. I like the way you put that together, those tokenomics.
Oh man, thank you. And they get really cool when you start talking about buy and burns like Texan. And here's another cool thing. Okay, just to put on the game theory deep dive a little bit. Time itself has a buy and burn. Okay, so here's what's so cool about that. Well, first of all, buys green candles, burns, so red candles can't come back on the market. But with time specifically, when the supply decreases, however much you're holding passively increases in respect to the total supply, right? So if I had 1% and now enough time got burnt, now I have 2%, I'm earning more of the wallet revenue every time time gets burnt. And then things like the Texan buy and burn, they get amplified passively because their portion of the time supply is increasing passively. So not only do people's passive income, does their passive income increase passively, as wallet revenue increases, but their position is also passively increasing.
Wow, that is some nice deep dive. I like that. We like that here on Tech Talk, don't we, boys?
We do.
Awesome. Like, how about is there anything that you are working on or that you can tease us with the Internet Money wallet, or are you still gonna come back for that?
Well, what I will say is now that we've gotten to our non-beta open source version, we have put ourselves in a position to for the last year and a half, 2 years, we've been building under the pressure of having to get this thing out, right? To fulfill what we said we were going to fulfill. So now we want to alleviate those time constraints, right? We don't want to say, oh, hey, expect this in the next 3 months or whatever. But what we're actively working on now is NFT support in the wallet, which has been a big demand from the NFT community, which you kind of need it as like a basic functionality. So NFT support. Following that, we want to focus on things like in-app bridging, not just from Ethereum to Pulse Chain, but connecting with a bunch of bridges so that people can move around on all the different chains. And then our in-app swap, we also want to bring that to our website so that you could still use our awesome swap functionality and not have to download the wallet. And then time holders still get paid, buy and burn still happen. So those are kind of the three big things on our priority list right now, and other small features, but those are like the three headliners, so to speak.
Wow, that's great. And congratulations again on your other security audits. That's a big deal. I mean, we were setting a new standard in crypto of finished products, audited products, and as few admin keys as possible if they're needed at all. So congratulations. And I love the fact that you guys don't do the KYC. You don't worry about anyone's. And you were saying in Austin, it's more difficult to not get users' information than to mine it, right? Can you go into that?
Yeah. So to what Hexray is saying here is that the Internet Money wallet collects no data. And when I mean no data, I mean no data. Even if you reach out to us through our in-app support, the email is optional. So if you reach out and you want us to respond to you, you have to leave an email. We get a lot of emails every day that are like, hey, great job, here, feature request, or hey, I'm having this bug, and people don't leave emails. So we're like, okay, we can't do anything. We got the info, but that's as far as it can go. So when you collect data, the more data a team collects, the easier their job is to troubleshoot things, because they get to, you could collect data like country of origin and internet service provider, or what platform they're on, as far as like Android, iOS, Chrome, what version of the phone they're on, like all these things. So now if we want any of that information, we physically have to hope that a user is gracious enough. There's a lot of users out there that are. So thank you, legends, to give us the information we need to troubleshoot an issue. Because a lot of the time it's user error. It's like, oh, hey, the app doesn't work, but they're just not doing it right. A lot of the time, not a lot of times, sometimes there is a bug, and we just have to hope that a user is willing to work with us. So the trade-off is, when the U.S. government, if they ever come knocking at our door, we're going to comply with them and give them an empty basket because we have nothing to give them. But the trade-off is we need more user patience, because we don't have all the information we need to debug things.
Yeah. And the one time I had a bug using Internet Money Wallet, all I had to do was reset my nonce, which is something I haven't done I had to go back and relearn how to reset my nonce, but that was it, and I've tried to recreate the problem. It hasn't happened since. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
And for those who have been using the wallet, like we've been on the market for over a year now, a year and 3 months so people that have used it in the beginning, we just got out of beta with our V1, but our V1 was actually version 143. So it's not like it was the first release of the wallet. So one thing that we've noticed just over time, it's kind of just good for all software. Save your seed phrase and private keys, or if you're using a hardware wallet, you're already good, and do a delete and a fresh install of the wallet. If you're having just weird issues, that's clearing up 99% of bugs. But if you just download the wallet today, well, it is a fresh install, so you're always pretty good. Awesome.
That's great. Let's go back here into chat here. Let's see here. Oh, that's the one we just covered.
Oh, congratulations on your chart, dude.
Thanks.
Your chart's crushing it right now, man.
Let's see the chart. You can pull that up.
I'll pull it. I have it pulled up right now.
Oh, you know what? You know what's another? Thank you, Brandon. Really appreciate that. And you know what else is cool about the chart? You had some people out there that were like, "Oh, against Rat Pulse." Even switch to the Rat Pulse view. Even the Rat
Crushing.
Pulse view looks good. So to those guys,
You guys see it?
Yeah, and this is the time token, and Rat Pulse. Look at that.
Here's Rat Pulse. So it's still crushing against almost all-time high against Rat Pulse.
right? All-time high on US dollars and very close to an all-time high against Rat Pulse.
Love it, dude.
And the total supply of time tokens. Time token is not inflationary, correct?
It is deflationary. It started out at 2 billion, but again, it's being bought and burned. So I think right now it's like 1.9 billion. But it's slowly deflating.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Crypto Ewok was mentioning Hexologist did that. Audio was bad, so he reloaded it. RH makes them tops. That's what people are saying. Coast is great if you have your own digital bank AC account in your name. Brett says you're the best. Thanks. Archie's in the house. Hey, ID. It was a nice refresher. Whomever regifted it to our collective attention spans. So thanks to all involved with that. Crypto Compassion is peeing his pants because you showed up. We're so glad you showed up. Thank you so much for coming.
No,
KG, look at all these guys. You got cheerleaders in here.
thank you for having me, bro.
I can hear the pom poms rustling as I read these.
Internet money pom poms coming to the merch shop near you.
KG is giving so much more than stuff. Well, we could just say KG is giving a lot, but I guess that's an opinion. Has anyone ever seen Kenny G, the sax player, and Don Montoya in a same room together?
This is a conspiracy right now because when I first came into the community, I had really long curly hair. And so they started saying that this guy, Kenny G, who I didn't know of before, the saxophone player.
Wait, how did you not know about Kenny G? How old are you? 12?
14, but
14. Okay,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
let it slide. Got it.
I did, and so now people are saying like, oh, Kenny G just lost his hair, and that's who Don is now. So it's like
he went into coding. He went into creating a great wallet. Hey, use any plans for the internet money token?
So he's talking about the first token we launched, IM, not to be confused with Time. And right now that token is highly speculative. For all intents and purposes, it has no utility at this moment. But what we're aiming to do with that token is as we branch out into the payments side of the crypto space, that's the token we want to get adopted for goods and services. So it's also deflationary. There is no team allocation. The liquidity is burned. So it's a truly decentralized peer-to-peer digital cash. And so if you think that us or the community is going to be successful in getting it adopted for goods and services, that's why you'd buy IM. Beyond that, it's speculative.
Awesome. Yep, K's in the house. ID says that's awesome. KG, data is the new bacon. Spikes in the house. What's up, people? Question, is Treasure or Ledger compatible?
Both on the Chrome extension.
Boom. And then Dave Lee says someone will just find a way to kick you in the shins no matter what.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, crypto's wearing diapers or depends. So he can get as excited as he wants, and that seat's going to be safe. Awesome. All right. So we've covered most of the things I wanted to cover so far in this. Aside from Walrus not showing up, I had a great story about Walrus. I'll tell it anyways.
Tell it.
So we're in Austin. We're sitting down, hanging out. And he and I both pull out the same phone, the same Samsung phone. And I've never seen anyone else that has this. It's the fold phone. It's the big crazy fold one. And I'm like, that's insane. And then we pull out our wallets to pay for our drinks. We have the same Ridge wallet. And it started getting freaky. We started like doing the mirror thing with our bald heads and our beards.
That's what I'm saying. You guys even kind of like look the same in a way.
So check this out. We are going out that night. I forget the name of that club. The best club was that gay club. They had the best music, the best dancing.
That was right.
I don't even remember what the name of it was. We go to the club to get in, and he doesn't have his ID on him.
No way.
Right? He's like, I got a picture of my passport. I got blah, 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 blah. And they won't let him in. So then we go back to that strange party with the carousel. We can get into that later. Then we come back to the club later. Yeah, you remember that one.
Yeah, it took me a sec.
So then we go back to the other club, and Jamie and we go in. So Jamie hands both of the IDs, our IDs, to the bouncer, and he checks and scans or whatever. He hands them back to Jamie. Jamie takes my driver's license, hands it back to Walrus.
Nice.
He uses my ID and gets in right after me because we are twins. We're just waiting for the 23andMe results.
You're even wearing the blazer, like the same shirt. I mean, you could be a stand-in for each other.
So does that mean that scanning machine is complete BS? Because doesn't it track whether that ID is in the club or not?
I don't think the guy had a scanner, so it works there. But nice. I've had him scan it where it's your birthday. It's like plays happy birthday and stuff. So it's a little creepy. But that was fun. So anyways, is there any other projects you guys want to bring up, talk about? Any tech you guys want to talk about? Well, we got these big-brained people in the same room.
Dude, I'm 5 minutes over, so you know the answer to that.
I know that your beard turns into a pumpkin after an hour of streaming.
That's right.
Your beard is very orange, dude, and it's really cool. Like it is very orange.
With light, without light.
Dude, it's so defined. Yeah. Like it's crazy.
I Chromecast Brandon's stream in my living room, and I took a picture and sent it to him, and his face was white. It was like washed out on my screen. So you just saw a white wall, a TV outline, and then the outline of a beard and nothing else, and then the white wall.
A living logo.
Yeah, it's like
bro, that could actually be a cool logo for you, like no eyes or anything, almost just like basically
just the beard.
Yeah,
dude,
that could be cool. Yeah, that's cool. Beard token
with my Dune eyes. That's what
yeah.
We got Cookies and Crypto in the house. Hexforce One, Christy Naya, Danny Boy's in the house. Says them scanners are 100% real in resort towns.
Yeah.
Crypto Compassion says Pulse Chain Real Estate meetup in Houston, February 17th.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you guys got to choose. You're either going to come to Miami and see some crazy stuff with me, or you're going to go to Houston and learn about some
Texans representing there too. So yeah, we're on the flyer there, and we're going to have a couple speaking spots to a room full of real estate investors. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Nice, good for you guys.
Yeah. Is Dane coming down for that, or Corey Gary? Because they've been doing such a cool bridge with the two worlds of real estate. I think I saw that
Corey's going to fly down there. I think I actually saw him say that. I could be wrong though.
It's like right up their alley.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. This is the last chance, chat. If you guys have any questions for these geniuses here on stream with me, or want to shill anything coming up, any meetups in your area or whatever, throw in the chat. Says hear Brandon, me speak on real estate.
I actually February 17th. I'd like to make that. I outside of crypto, I've been a realtor in Texas for 7 years.
Nice.
That's my non-crypto thing. So, I got a little touch with real estate.
It would be worth it, dude. Let's have as much Pulse Chain representation as we can.
Right.
Yeah. Are you going to be making it down to that one, Rags?
Probably, yes.
Okay.
And I'll let you know, KG, before you make plans if I'm going to be there or not. But hopefully, it might not matter either way. So
I'm only going if you're there.
My man.
Not a chance.
Sounded so horrible.
Yeah, Crypto says if Compassion says he'll see you in Houston as well.
Nice.
So nice. Now, next week, as we know, guests may or may not appear. I just put the tweet out there, and sometimes they don't. Next year, we've got Crypto Compassion scheduled and Axis Alive next week.
I thought I heard next year.
Next year. No, next week they'll be on here. So join us for that. I'm not gonna let anything go, but it might be a very strange stream, is all I'm gonna say.
I'm down.
So
I'm down.
It's a good panel. Both those guys are awesome.
I had Brandon at Strange. He said big brain game theory, liquid pairs on ETH for Texan. Oh yeah, I moved some liquidity over to the ETH pair on Texan because we're hoping that if ETH rips, you get that synergistic from both those pairs. How's that going?
There's gonna be some cool stuff that happened on Ethereum with Texan, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just stand by. We'll see what happens.
Okay. All right, let's do the awkward wave goodbye real quick. I'm gonna throw on some music. I want you guys to give your most awkward wave goodbye to the cameras. Snake City. Oh, let's try that one.
Now,
This is good. This is a good awkward wave song.
Let me tell you about me. Take it down in 1, 2, 3. I don't like my boys too sweet. I don't know about you. I just worry about me. So you better run. You don't know what
Oh my gosh.
take it down in 1, 2, 3.
He didn't move a muscle.
I'm beginning to understand how he gets out of arguments with Savannah. He just freezes wherever he's at.
Say hi.
Dude, Jonathan and Paula, great to see you, man. Great seeing you. Perfect. Oh, guys, thank you so much for being here. You guys, let me turn this down a little
make
bit.
it stop.
That's a catchy song for being
Yeah,
free.
that's not bad.
Free use. That's a catchy song.
Yeah, that ain't bad at all.
If you guys ask questions in the comments, you guys can DM me with a shipping address, and I'll hook you up with a hexrayvision t-shirt, some stickers that goes for the guests as well. If you guys want a sticker and some merch, just hit me up. Send me an address. I believe Adam and Lindsay, you got yours, right?
Oh yeah. It's just too cold to be wearing them right now.
You guys just wear them to bed. I just picture you guys tucked in bed wearing the hexrayvision shirts. It makes me happy. So yeah, hit me up, and like I said, join us next week. And yeah, thanks for joining Tech Talk. Thanks for all of our guests that showed up, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.
Thanks again, man.
You bet. Thank you.